on the needs of the people who elected you, on the needs of the country, on the needs of the region, on the needs of our continent, so that we are in sync in development of our mother continent, Africa. Africa has a myriad problems, like I said. The poorest people in the world are found in Africa. The hungriest people in the world are found in Africa. And yet, even after the Maputo Declaration of 2003, to spend just 10% on food production, 10% of our annual budgets, and of course, you know the Abuja Declaration on Health that also obligates 15% to be spent on health. Most of our countries still spend more money on security installations than on food and health. Even when there are no threats of any nature, they'll buy more weapons, buy tanks, than buy tractors and rudimentary implements for food production for the population. I've just come from Ghana, where we had the CPA, the Common Parliamentary Association, and the key theme for debate was exactly what we are discussing here: food security and nutrition. And the story from the Caribbean, from the Pacific, from Africa was the same. Food production is diminishing, people are getting hungrier, people are getting less nutrition, and people are suffering even more. And yet, a continent like Africa, we have more than 65% of the world's arable land for food production. But we are still using the hoe and the machete for food production when most countries have mechanized. Have you asked yourselves why when Ukraine, which is smaller than Tanzania, is disturbed, the whole world goes hungry? Everywhere you go, in fact now is the excuse of every government that we don't have food because Ukraine is under attack. And yet we have better land, we have better climate, we have better workforce, and we have better capacity to produce even more food than Ukraine. So the challenge goes to all of you, honorable members of parliament. My sister and brother from South Sudan, your country is 100% arable. How much food do you produce? And this question can ring through all of us, not just South Sudan. All of us. How many Africans go to Israel every year to marvel at how food is produced in a desert? Yet we have natural rain, we have everything in our midst. So as we talk about food security and nutrition, let's not be tempted to think that food security will be achieved when Ukraine is in peace. Let's have an achievement of food security because you as members of parliament are proactive and deliberately budgeting for food production, food processing, value addition, post-harvest management, and above all, food exports to earn foreign exchange for our countries to develop. I'm sure when you break for lunch, you'll find on your tables something from New Zealand, something from Australia, something from UK. As we grow pineapples here, you may find some pineapples from Chile, you find some wine from Italy, find some wine from Peru, and you ask yourself, with all this bounty in Africa, what can we do leaders of our continent to turn our continent from a basket case to a bread basket. That's what I urge you, honorable members, as you deliberate here, as a speaker of my National Assembly, whatever decisions you make in furtherance of improving nutrition and food safety in Africa, I will be on hand to implement through legislation. And I'll encourage and communicate with my colleague speakers in the region that this kind of meeting should not just be talking shops, that it should be having tangible, positive impact on our legislative agenda that will then be translated into real action to move Africa from our status of a continent of pity to a continent of hope and a continent of the future. Allow me therefore, my brother Yusuf, to encourage you that whatever you need our parliament to do, our government to do, we will do. And our president, who is away in China, supports fully your deliberations, and whatever outcome you make, his government will be one of the first to implement. My brother from FAO, thank you. FAO has done a wonderful job, but you can do better by engineering behavioral change and attitudes towards food on our continent, so that we can be able to make things better. If you go to Europe, you go to breakfast, you find potatoes from Africa. But when you go to African restaurants, you find sausages from Europe, which cost 10 times what our potatoes cost. What am I saying? That we can do better, we can produce better, we can eat better, and we can live better. Today, as people are suffering in the Horn of Africa and many other places, there are more and more clinics opening in the cities like Nairobi for cutting weight. So we are a continent of immense contradictions. On one pendulum, those who can't eat anything. On another pendulum, those who don't know what to do with what they have eaten. Members of Parliament, the duty is upon you to rationalize and engineer positive change for our continent and make sure that the shame of hunger, as our President constantly says, should be part of our history to be read by our future generations in our books. That people went hungry, people died of hunger. It's a shame for people to die of hunger on our continent. I declare your conference officially open. Thank you.